What's going on, people? So, today we will be talking about how to carry yourself professionally in an environment which might be the workplace. And me being a plumber, I've been in so many of these scenarios before where I've not only had to act professional for my trade as a plumber, I've had to be professional in the environment which I'm in. The environment might change. What do I mean by that? So I've been a plumber who's been working around the high end, let's say people who are wealthy, billionaires, all of that type of stuff. So how do you maintain a professional environment or be professional when you're those people? You're seeing stuff you ain't ever seen before. That's the truth. I ain't got a swimming pool in my house, but these other people have. So being respectful, that's one thing that I've always took with me wherever I go. So being respectful of anybody's space, no matter if they've got millions of pounds or £1. At the end of the day, I'm here just to do a job, but being respectful, making sure that if I'm going to a property and I've got my shoe protectors on because I normally have my boots on, right? That's key. I'm always going to ask people, would you like us to remove the shoes, or would you like us, or is it okay if we could put the shoe covers on to walk over to where we might need to go to, right? I always make sure that I've always asked any of my clients or the customers, which time would you prefer us to come at, which is not inconveniencing them. I work from a certain time to a certain time, 9 till 5. Do you get it? So, what time could I give you, which doesn't inconvenience you and allows me enough time to be able to get on with my work and not clash with yourself or, have you there while I'm working? Some people don't like that, and I get that. So it's like a service which you don't really see. And that's what I mean when it comes to that type of service, because people want their problems solved, but they don't want to see you inside their property, just there all the time. So this is something which I've had to be so mindful of, but being able to be a person who's been able to communicate as well, because that communication is key. Communicating with them and saying to them, is it okay if we come at this time? Right. Another thing I will say to you, yeah, which this is only like on the upper echelons, people that are doing that West End, service when it comes to maintenance or plumbing, right? Because that's what I am. Making sure that you're polite is just it's part of the business, isn't it? I've got no reason to be rude to any of these people, really, at the end of the day. Coming to their property, I'm here to earn some money. So I earn my money and I don't have a need to be rude or have any type of attitude. If somebody asks me a question, I answer at the best of my ability. And if I don't know, I do tell someone I'm not quite sure about that at the moment, but one thing I will do is I will get back to you. And you do update people because that's you acknowledging their request within, oh, do you know this? Or could you help me with this? The answer you might not have the answer right now, but the thing sometimes is to search for the answer before you go ahead and try and just make it up off the top of your head, because people are smart. They see through things like that. They see through you or I not knowing the answer, but they see it as a good thing by going off and finding out that information and then coming back, because um, you're now meeting their needs in it. If they ask you for something, they know you're gonna find out. And I think that is part of having that upper echelon service, but that service which people will pay for. And I've realized that because I like to go for high-end jobs. I'm not gonna lie. So as you know, I do have this plumbing company called Mr. London Plumber, but I have a full-time job sometimes, and I have no shame in saying that. I'm of the age of my late 30s now. I can't obviously always rely on me getting solid amount of work through Mr. London Plumber. So I want to live a comfortable life. So I go and I work for these people, but it also keeps me well trained and well around, submersed in that type of area which I want to be working in. So you can imagine, I meet people, someone says, oh, you're the lead engineer here, or you're in charge of this. Oh, do you do this? Or could you come to this property? Or I wonder if you could fix this for me. And again, I smile at the point, and I give it a go at some points in it, because this is how I'm able to scale up my business, but also learn at the same time in it. Because how are you obviously going to go and meet all of these high-end customers in a place? I go to places where they go to, so it makes sense. So I work for places where they would be going to socialize. So I'm going to see them there, and you see other people there, like, but I have realized that having this two sides to you, yeah, having a side where you can switch it up and talk to your friends, which is just what we're doing right now, or have a side where you're being a little bit more reserved, but you're listening to people and you're allowing them to speak, but also answering clearly and understanding what someone says. That's what has helped me in that world when it comes to that. I've not really had so much people judge me for the blatant things, what you can see, what we're seeing right now. I can't really say I've faced too much of that, but I realized that there's not a lot of people that look like me in the fields where I'm at, whether it be the upper echelons, the millionaires, and these types of people. But again, there's not a lot of people there anyway, to be honest with you. It's a certain type of particular person. It's not to do with your race or nothing like that. If it suits you, it suits you. I like it because I like to be a little bit away from the worry and the air and the share of the normal stuff, Again, I've done social housing before. I've done private housing before. I've always wanted to get into like super high end hotels and stuff like that, but that I think will come after a couple of years now, because I'm understanding where to go to build. So I'm still learning stuff while I'm on my way. You meet so many different contacts. I've met some really good contacts by being at the right place at the right time. It might not come together like a puzzle like this at the beginning, but give it a little bit of time, and then you realize, oh, I met this person who's over here that can do that, and I also know another contact who could do that. I'm not going to try and put them together. What I'm going to try and do is be the middle person, because sometimes when you give up your contacts and things like that, there's no need for you in the middle. So I tried to work out a way where I could still be involved, but it could still be profitable for all parties, because this is business at the end of the day. Whether you're doing business on a high level or low level, at the end of the day, plan to be that middleman, because the middleman is always involved. Do you understand? And I think that's what I'm trying to base my 9 to 5 off of, is being that person who can also provide a high level of service, a person that knows about what they're talking about, but a person who can take charge as well. So, and they can rely on you, and being someone you can rely on, I look at that as hopefully in turn, they'll have some type of value when it comes to you and what you do. So that's what I'm always trying to install. I'm never trying to install a fake misdemeanor character of, oh, this person's this clean cut person, blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. I like to be thorough, due diligent. I like to be respectful, and I like to get the job done. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Be as clean as tidy as you can, because I work at those places, like I told you. So that is definitely a number one thing. So anytime working, dust sheets down, hoover, area mapped off and signposted and stuff like that. Again, if you can get the major works out at the beginning of the morning instead of the evening, it's a lot better for the general flow, because you know that problems happen later down in the day. And if they do, you need to be straight on them to be able to contain them. People like to know about, if there is a problem, like I would say to people, if there is a problem, we would like to know the contingency plan. And contingency plan is only a word which we use in maintenance and stuff like that. If there's a problem, what are we going to do? What's the steps that we have in place? And as an engineer, as a supervisor, as a lead, whatever you want to call yourself, a mechanical engineer, electrician, know these terminologies and know when to use them in conversation, because it might be the reason why you end up planting and getting that job, because you know what you're talking about by saying the right things at the right times. It's not about trying to please everybody, because you won't be able to do that. Just do a good job for yourself and be a good representation of yourself. That's one thing I will say. I don't try and change and be like, oh, I'm a representation of all young black tradesmen. No, I'm not. I'm myself. I know people don't want to be as due diligent as I am, or even sometimes talk about the process which you do go through to get to certain points. I do, because I just don't mind being transparent with people. Again, I've learned off of others, and I'm sure others will learn off of me, and I will make mistakes and I will correct those mistakes and get better at things. And that's just life. And I think that we all go through some of these things. It's just sometimes someone has to be in the position to be able to give you a chance. And giving you a chance is where you start. That's where I've started at most jobs. Is I didn't fall and trip over and say, "Oh, I want to start working for people that have got loads of money." No, no, no. Someone gave me a chance, and I realized, "Oh, it's nice up here. It is nice, swanky. I could do with being up here. It's less stressful. There might not be so much going on, but that might be okay with me, because it allows me to focus on other things which I need to focus on in my own life. You know, work is stressful enough as it is. If you can focus on family, your partner, and going on holiday and doing the things which you're going to do to blossom your life and to be able to grow it, give it the right time and stuff like that, because time is sometimes a healer of a lot of things. Sometimes the first high-end job what you get might not suit you right, but the third one might be better for you, and you might have a better understanding of what you're here to deliver instead of trying to deliver something else. And that's what has worked for me. So I would say your etiquette, how you carry yourself, when you choose to switch it up and talk to people with the normal voice, just like I'm giving you now, and when you choose to be more thorough about what you're saying, take your time, speak clearly, make sure that you're sure of what you're talking about, because yeah, people do question you. That is a thing, you know, like you have to take it down a peg when you are talking to people in general, and you're not telling them about the say I'm like, oh, all systems are run on gravity fed. When I'm talking to someone, they'll be like, what systems? What are you talking about? They don't know what you're talking about. Do you get it? Or someone might not understand the reason why the pump tripped. Oh, there isn't any water coming out of the taps because the pump's tripped. Oh, why is it tripped? We don't know first, but we know it has tripped. So we need to do an investigation where we find out, instead of just pointing out some of the buzzwords to people when they really want to know the solution. So try and identify that in it with people, because it's hard to gauge that with some people sometimes. So make sure you understand what your job is. So whether it's to fix, or it's to fix and find a summary why that happened, to be able to find a solution at some point, or to be able to have a contingency plan in place. These are the things which people are not really trying to teach people, but those are the things which how you're going to up your level, up your game when it comes to being yourself, innit? I didn't have any plans to do any of this, but I've realized that it's skills what I've had to build on time and time and time and time again to be able to pull out the better version of myself. Take for a simple example, we used to go into a lot of high-end properties, so I used to look after a lot of them, and engineers will come in, they'll come in with me, they'll put their tools on somebody's side, their marble top. Their marble top cost 110 grand. The look on their face was like, and I was like, look, move your tools, man. Just hold them in your hand. Do you know what I mean? Holding them in your hand shows a little bit of decorum, but it shows that, you know, like you're ready to work, innit? I'm not saying that this is the army, but whether you, from the minute you knock on that door, hi, it's the engineer from blah, 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 coming to the door, I put my shoe protectors on straight away. Is it okay if we enter? Let them hold the door open for you so you can enter. Cool, you go in, you stand by the door, you let them close the door, and you say, yeah, could you guide me to the area where we'll be working in, please? And just start off like that, you know, like I don't start off by saying, oh yeah, where's a cup of tea at and all that, or We getting any biscuits today? No, 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 no. I saved that for myself, innit? Do you understand? Some people are not here to see that. And that's what we've got to separate sometimes. And don't get me wrong, like I said to you, I've not had people be awkward towards me because of what they see. They know that I'm here to do a job. Again, I try to turn up as presentable as I can. I haven't had a haircut in a little while, but I'm actually going to somewhere tomorrow, so I need to be presentable. So hopefully my barber's hooking me up today with that fresh trim. And I'm going to go down to see someone in a... I don't even want to talk about it. I never talk about things like that, but I'm going to go and see someone. And I know it's one of those types of clients and customers. So I wanted to kind of like tell you how I managed to kind of like secure a good interview so I could talk to that person. I just gave them examples of me working for other rich families and things what I have to do. You know, like if we are doing a fan call service, we all have to have these white gloves on. So when we're removing pictures which are on the wall and stuff like that, the pictures are like £1 million painting, £500,000 painting. I can't afford to break that. Neither can anybody else who I'm with. So we need to be very gentle and delicate. Making sure you've got dust sheets. Making sure that there is a method on how you're doing something so it seems quite fluent. If we start in the bigger rooms, move to the smaller rooms, we have someone on the BMS being able to go through it. And that way we're allowing to see if our fan coil units reach temperature. Do you get it? I know there's not a lot of people that know how to sometimes do things properly or do diligent, but even when I didn't know, guess what I did do? I went on the internet and I found out. Or you can work with people for a period of time and they'll be able to tell you what's the reason why you do things. And when someone does ask you, you can hit them with one of those interesting facts. It just allows people to know you know what you're talking about. Again, we're not trying to bamboozle people. We're just trying to show people that we've learned over a period of time. Your etiquette and your mannerism will open and close doors for you. That's just that. I'll just be honest with you. It will never really it shouldn't really hold you back. Sometimes it can hold you back, but don't allow it to, because one thing I can say, even for myself, is that the more you work on it, the more you get better at it. It's the lifestyle, what I do as a plumber and stuff like that, or the places where I work in, the 9 to 5, it just isn't for everybody. I understand that. But for me, it's probably a place where I've spent most of my time. So it's not somewhere where I feel alienated at, or like I don't feel like this is for me. I can get on most places. I'm just a people person at the same time. Again, I've worked for local councils and stuff like that. It's been all right, but everybody's got their preference. Do you understand? And my probably preference is somewhere like that. It's not because of the people or nothing, because I'm not a millionaire from these people. These people don't give me their personal phone number or anything like that. The environment is just sometimes a little bit more nicer for me. Do you understand? And I work with that. Again, I want to work on my skills, and I do get to work on my skills there, and I get to know about other little fancy things which I like in my personal life. Again, this is me just talking to you about etiquette and how I would carry myself, but I would always give people the utmost respect in every scenario. It doesn't matter if people got loads of money, a little bit of money. This is what plumbing's kind of taught me, which is just treat everyone with respect. That's it at the end of the day. But that etiquette rule will definitely take you far. Again, I know when not to call people bros, mates, or anything like that. When I'm in work, we don't do that, period. So I don't expect anyone to be doing it to me. You know, you just got to carry yourself in a way which is respectable. That's all I would say on that. But think about this etiquette. Think about a way how to carry yourself. Think about how others see yourself, innit? I know a lot of people don't like to admit it, but we live in such a judgmental world when it comes to people judging people on first-hand appearances. I bet you a lot of people wouldn't realize that I'm in the places where I'm in just by sometimes even seeing my videos or something like that. Oh, you do that? They couldn't believe it. But again, I don't have to show people to let them see what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing and I'm happy about it, you know? So I just wanted to come on here and share it with you and just let people know that that etiquette thing, mannerism, carrying yourself professional, it will take you a far way, and it will open doors for you, man. And again, sometimes when you don't do it, it will close some doors for you. People will believe that you haven't got good manners, you haven't got self-respect for yourself or others or the environment. So just be wary of it, innit? I'm just saying that, you know, it's nice to say good morning to people and stuff like that. You don't have to. I don't say good morning to every single body. I might say hi, 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 hi. Not good morning, but hi. You know, it's okay because I acknowledge people. That's the thing, you know, and it's nice to be acknowledged for everybody. We're all humans. We all breathe the same. Be nice to people. Say hi to someone. Work on your own etiquette. Do it at your own speed, innit? Level up yourself. It's Mr. London Plumber. Make sure that you keep on tuning into these lives and make sure you subscribe. Subscribe is the thing I want to tell you guys to do. So subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. It helps with my channel. Let's get it.